I'm wondering the same thing. Why is an ordinary student facing Varkuzal, the deadliest demon in all of Axprin? This wasn't supposed to happen. You know what? Let me explain from the very beginning. I'm Nero, just an ordinary student at Raven's Order, the most prestigious magic academy on the entire continent of Axprin. It's a pretty dangerous place. Think about it. Skillful young people are in fierce competition every single day to become a warlock. Terrifying. But earning that title takes more than just surviving 4 years of curriculum. We have to make a pact with a demon. Not just any pact, a pact of blood. You have to sacrifice someone's life, someone close, someone you care about. I don't think I'll ever graduate. I've never wanted to kill anyone, not even the ones who made my life hell. But demons, I can kill them. They're like a plague. That's why Axprin is called the Continent of Demons. They say there's one land with no demons, but I've never been there. I'd love to see it someday, even if my blood won't let me in. Did I say I was just an ordinary student? Maybe I'm not that ordinary after all. I've got devil blood in my veins. Half demon, half human. Oh, the real question was how I ended up face to face with Varkuzal, right? I can't believe it myself either, but everything started with descending into the Raven's Catacombs.
Hi Russ, welcome to the Evil Cluster. This cluster takes place in the dimension of Underworld, a world of magic and swords, where humans, demons, and angels coexist in a fragile and dangerous way. The stories of Evil 1 and Evil 2 will take place in Axprin, one of the two continents of Underworld. There are 3 kingdoms on this continent: Traxoris, Selfmer, and Valmerdia, each with its own rules and its own laws. Nero, whom just we met, will be the main protagonist of the Evil Cluster. He lives in Selfmer with his mother. He is half human, half devil, so he doesn't fit in with either demons or humans. Nero is one of the final year students at the Raven's Order, the most prestigious magic academy in Axprin. His goal upon graduation will be to make a pact with a demon, earn the title of Warlock, a magician who uses demonic magic to enhance his own magic. However, to seal a pact with a demon, the blood of a loved one must be shed, and that's something Nero isn't willing to do. To find out what will happen to our hesitant protagonist, you'll have to read the lore episodes that will be released during the season for spoiler for Descent into the Raven's Catacombs. To explain the technical details of the Evil Cluster, this time we have the help of a special guest, Alejandro-san.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Evil Cluster. I am very happy for being here today.
Hi, thanks for coming. So, what can you tell us about the new Evil Cluster mechanics?
For this cluster, the development team has taken a new approach in Force of Will. This time, instead of linking the abilities to the new rulers, the keyword abilities are now linked to 3 different attributes each one. This way, the new keyword abilities of the Evil Cluster will be used in many different decks. Can we show new cards now?
I'm afraid, but we don't have Kawamoto-san's permission to show new Evil Cluster cards yet. We will see them very soon on this YouTube channel. But we do have a permission to reveal the name of new keyword abilities, and more.
Okay. The first of the 6 new keyword abilities is Defiant. Defiant means attacking doesn't cause this card to rest, and this card can attack up to number of times during your main phase. We have seen this text before in other cards like Yamata no Orochi, the 8 Disasters, or Electra Sparkling Form.
This keyword is linked to light, fire, or water resonators, and you won't find it in resonators that don't have these attributes, as it represents righteousness and honesty and the fight against evil.
The second keyword ability is Blood Trail. Blood Trail means if J resonators attack 2 times this turn, this card gains swiftness as it enters the field, and this card enters the field with 2 plus 100 plus 100 counters on it. You will find Blood Trail only in light or fire or darkness resonators, as it represents the thirst for revenge and the slaughter of both allies of good and evil forces.
The third keyword ability is Aegis, and it means this card cannot be targeted by spells with quick cast or by abilities whose source is an entity you don't control that enters the field this turn. This new protection keyword ability can be found on fire, water, and wind resonators, and it represents safeguarding using magic.
Please remember that Aegis is not barrier, so the cards that interact with barrier will not interact with Aegis. From now on, players will have to diversify the removal even further to interact with this new keyword ability. The fourth keyword ability is Outnumber. Outnumber means this card has the following text as long as you control another resonator and more resonators than your opponent. Outnumber will be found only in light or wind or darkness resonators, as it represents the strength gained through numerical superiority and intimidation.
The fifth keyword ability is Vileborn, which means whenever this card is targeted by a spell or ability the first time each turn, each other player loses 100 multiplied by number life. This evilish ability will be found in water, wind, and darkness resonators, representing demons and the most dangerous area of this entire dimension.
Finally, the last keyword ability, Enraging, means whenever this card attacks, target J resonator must block this turn if able, and it gains this card can block while rested until end of turn. You will find this new keyword ability only in a few cards, because it is a Belmardian ability, and the main characters of the evil cluster won't be spending much time in that kingdom yet. But although these are the 6 new keyword abilities, there are new gameplay surprises in the evil cluster.
That's right. Starting with this first set, we're introducing a new card type, Warden. This new card type will be placed in the rural area and will support our ruler from there, much like a sub-ruler, but with something special. Wardens have their own judgment. We'll explain more about this new card type at the beginning of the spoiler season. Alejandro-san, let's now talk about how the evil cluster influences the lore of Force of Will.
Okay. The evil cluster takes place immediately after the events of the Trinity cluster in the paradoxical timeline. This dimension, Yomidgard, it's the only dimension of the gods conquered by Gil Lapis yet. But we have seen that Gil Lapis doesn't know what is going on in the empty vessel of worlds where he has his conquered dimensions. So, well, I won't say anything else to avoid the spoilers.
So, do we need to know the entire lore of Force of Will to understand the lore of the evil cluster?
Nope. Even if the story of the evil cluster is linked to the events of the Trinity cluster, the masterpiece, and the overall story of Force of Will, each cluster in the paradoxical timeline has independent stories that can be enjoyed as standalone stories.
Will popular Force of Will characters appear in the evil cluster?
That's a good question. Yomidgard in this timeline is what was called the demonic world in another timelines, so we can expect to see characters related to the demonic world and a few more characters. Kinda different, and maybe it's time for a picnic, if you know what I mean.
Alright, thank you very much, Alejandro-san. See you again at the WGP 2025. The evil cluster and Yomidgard are familiar place, yet completely new at the same time. Events from other timelines don't apply here. So forget everything you think you know and enjoy this new cluster. New Evil Cluster structure decks, representing the rules of Silthmer and Velmadia, will be available at the same time as Descend into the Raven's Catacombs. These structure decks are specifically designed to introduce new players to Fossilville, while also delighting experienced players. Nearly all the cards are new, and while one deck is perfectly playable. Collectors and players who want to get 4 copies of each card will need to purchase 2 copies of each structure deck. The first Evil Cluster Pack, Descend into the Raven's Catacomb, will be available in 3rd quarter 2025. Alright, so that's it for today's video. Yup, we did put a lot of effort in the first part, so I'm glad if you enjoyed that. Alright, so see you in the next video. Bye.